How to set up Google Ads for beginners. Let's do it. What's up guys, Jordan here. Today we're going to be going through a Google Ads tutorial. This is a long awaited video on this channel. I've been asked to do this time and time again, but we are finally here. Now I've got a quick presentation for you that we're going to be running through with some numbers and a little bit of education on how the Google Ads platform is actually structured. Then we're going to jump onto the Google Ads platform and I'm going to run you through how to launch your first ever Google search ad. Now before we get into the presentation, I want to announce a quick competition on this video where every 1 in 100 people who comment down below will get one completely free token to a Learn Ads Pro course. Learn Ads is our online education platform where we teach people how to advertise on a multitude of different advertising platforms. All you need to do is comment down below with whatever you want, maybe actually your goals for advertising on Google, and one person out of every 100 people will be randomly selected to win that free pass. Cool. Let's get into the video. Okay, so Google Ads training. Now, before we jump into the platform itself, I want to run through some figures so you can understand the opportunity at hand here when it comes to running Google Ads. Now, as of 2022, Google owns 92% of the global market search share. Okay, so that is 6.9 billion searches every single day using the Google platform. They are really the king of search engines. I mean, who uses Bing anyway? Now, 65% of people click on ads when making purchases. So the ads that are on the platform, 65% of people click on those ads when they're going to purchase. And the average ads conversion rate for search across all industries stands at 4.4%. So 4.4% of people that click on Google search ads actually convert. That's a massive number. Now finally, online users are 4 times more likely to click ads on Google than any other advertisement network. Now that is absolutely massive, by the way. You guys will know if you watched this channel before. If you haven't, by the way, welcome, subscribe, smash the notification bell. But I am an advocate of a multitude of advertising platforms. I own a digital marketing agency called the Affluent Agency. We advertise on Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, and Google, okay, among other things. And I'm certainly not one to have favorite platforms, but we cannot ignore the fact that online users are 4 times more likely to click on ads on Google. Maybe it's because they're already in search mode. But of course, it depends on what products you're advertising and what service you are actually trying to sell. So let's look into the structure of the Google Ads platform, okay? You need to understand how the actual platform works before we can actually understand how to run some ads. Okay, we're going to go through the A to Z today. So at the top of the structure, we have a Google Ads account. Okay, now this is where we manage all of our Google Ads and our campaign dashboard. Within that, underneath, we have our ad campaigns, and this is the foundation of our ads. And this is where we set up advertising objectives and formats. We then have ad groups, so this is where we set our target audience, our locations, our budget, and our bidding strategy. We have keywords, so this is our additional targeting for relevant search terms and phrases. So if we want to target people based on the exact words they are searching on the Google platform, we can do so through keywords, and we're going to run through that today. We then have ad creative, and this is the actual text or video or images that will appear when your ad is triggered, depending on what format we choose. And then finally, we have our landing page or our destination URL. This is the destination that each ad is going to drive traffic to when our target customer clicks on the ad itself. Cool. So that is the structure, but it's not always going to look this simple. Depending on how many ads you're running, it might look something like this. On screen right now, we have one Google Ads account. We have one campaign, okay? So this might be a search ad. We have 2 different ad groups, so we might be targeting 2 different audiences here. And within there, we've got 2 ads each. So we might be testing out 2 different ads, different variables, different copies, different creatives. So what are the actual Google advertising formats? What are the actual ad formats? Firstly, we have search ads. Now, if you go over to Google right now and you search any keyword, these are the ads that are going to come right to the top of the newsfeed. This is essentially our way of skipping through years and years worth of SEO work and putting ourselves right to the top. We're paying our way to the top. We then have display ads, which are actually similar to search ads, but creative is more dynamic. We can include images here, and we're going to be running these ads across on other websites over the net. We've got shopping ads, pretty self-explanatory on Google Shopping, video-based ads on platforms like YouTube. We've got apps, we've got smart ads, we've got local ads, and we have discovery ads. Now we're going to focus our time today on Google search ads, which of course is the #1 most used Google ad and the best for beginners. And really, I would say this is the one-size-fits-all regardless of what product or service you're actually trying to advertise. So let's go over to the Google Ads platform and run through how to launch your first ever Google search ad. Okay, so all we need to do is go over to ads.google.com, and then at the top right corner, we're going to hit sign in, and we're going to sign into our Gmail account. We're then be prompted to convert that to a Google Ads account. If we don't already have one, we can hit the Start Now button, and there are some very simple instructions on how to get an account set up. It's going to take you under 20 seconds. So once we've done that, we're going to actually log into our account, and here I've got a dummy account. This is an unused account, so it's going to look as close to what yours will look like as possible. The first thing we're going to see is our overview. This is our dashboard. This is where we can see an overview of the data from all of our advertising campaigns, okay? So we can have a look at the amount of clicks we've got. We can have a look at all of our impressions, our cost per click, or CPC, and the amount we have actually spent on this account. We can also look at this over different periods, so the last 7 days, today, yesterday, 14 days, this month, all times, so on and so forth. If we scroll down, we can get a little bit of a summary of our billing and any recent bills that we've paid, and we can see any like a preview of any ads that we've got running right now. This is actually from a recent video we put up about how to launch YouTube ads. So if we go over to campaigns, this is where we actually manage all of our campaigns. And I'm going to come on to this when we've actually launched one. But the first thing we're going to do is go through how to create one. So we're going to hit the plus button, and then we're going to hit new campaign. But what we also can do, just for your reference, is we can hit this create campaign button in the middle of your screen. And now we get prompted to select our campaign objective. So this is simply where we choose what we want Google to optimize our ad for. And we always want to optimize for our end goal. Now, a lot of marketers online throw around things like, hey, you need to prime an ad with traffic first before you then optimize for conversions, or you need to run engagement ads before you then retarget that ad. And to be honest with you, it is just completely unnecessary. You need to optimize your ads for the end goal every single time. So if you want to get website traffic, then optimize for website traffic. If you want to get sales, then optimize for sales. If you want lead generation, then optimize for lead generation. App installs and so on and so forth. It's pretty self-explanatory. But what we're going to do today is we're actually going to manually select our optimization. Okay, these things are really kind of laid out for complete beginners. And I know some of you watching this right now would never have ran a Google Ads before, but I'm going to teach you the expert way of doing things simply. Okay, so what we do as marketers and as advertisers is we create a campaign without a goals guidance. And this is going to enable us to have access to all of Google's settings. They're not going to remove settings based on the objective we have set. We will still be able to optimize this ad, but we're going to have a lot more flexibility. The next thing we get to do is choose what type of ad we want this to be. So do we want it to be a search ad, a display ad, a shopping ad, an app installs ad, for example? We're going to do a search ad. And then we're going to get prompted again to see what results we actually want from this campaign: website visits, phone calls, and app downloads. I'm going to recommend you actually keeping this open though, because we still get to optimize this later down the line. We want as much control over this ad campaign as possible. So we're going to name this, let's do search test, okay. Just going to move this up, hit continue. And now we get to select our budget and our bidding. So I'm going to close this here. Okay, it's going to show me all the new features. I don't want to see them, leave that. We're going to set our budget. Now, I would recommend you starting off on a minimum daily budget of £5 or $5 per day. It's not really worth you going any lower than that. And also, if you go too high with your first campaign when you're testing things out, probably just going to waste money. So between £5 and maybe £20 or $20, I would go for with your starting daily budget. What do we want to focus on? Do we want to focus on clicks? Do we want to focus on impression shares? Do we want to focus on conversions or conversion value? Now, to optimize for conversions, we need to set up conversion tracking. And I'm going to do that towards the end of this video. I'm going to show you how you can optimize ads for specific conversions. That conversion may be somebody filling in a lead form on your website. It might be someone making a purchase, for example. I'm going to run through conversion tracking shortly. But for now, we're going to optimize this ad for link clicks, getting as much traffic as possible onto our website. Now, we can also set a maximum cost per link click. So if we've advertised on other platforms before and we have an idea of what our target cost per click is, or the maximum we want to spend to get somebody to visit our website, we could set a maximum CPC, but I'm going to leave that empty, leave that unticked if you are first starting out, right? We only want to meddle with these kind of things once we actually know what kind of data to look out for. Now, furthermore than this, we can also select our bidding strategy. So how Google actually bids to show our ad within its algorithm, okay? So how is it going to optimize? For example, we can optimize for maximized clicks, maximized conversions, manual cost per click. But again, I wouldn't really recommend playing around with this unless you know the maximum cost per click that you want to spend. We're going to just set this as standard, okay? We're gonna have this automatic on maximize clicks, so we wanna get as much traffic as possible onto our website, and we can always hone in and optimize this later down the line. Okay, so let's move on, let's click next. Now we're on our campaign settings. So we want to run a search network ad, okay? So this is gonna be search ads on Google's website, and we do not want to be running display network, okay? Google's a little bit crafty here. It's gonna ask you if you wanna show this ad on other websites. Display network ads can be great, but I would recommend you running them in a separate campaign so this ad is optimized correctly if you want to run ads on the display network on other websites that Google are partnered with or other websites that enable Google display network ads to be displayed on their website, right? We're just gonna do search network. We're gonna scroll down, now we have the option to select our locations, okay? We're gonna keep getting this pop-up because I don't have a payment card set up on this dummy account. But we gotta choose where we wanna actually run this ad. So we could do United Kingdom, we could go location option. So we've got United Kingdom here, or we can enter another location and we could do United States, okay? We could do an advanced search and we could select a radius, for example, and we could drop a pin over this area in Canada and we could target a certain mile radius around this pin, or we can search for this location in this box. We can also add locations in bulk by copy and pasting a list separated by commas in this box here, and we just tick add locations in bulk. Let's say we're just going to run this ad to the United States. So we can see the reach. Let me zoom in to make sure you guys can see everything here. We can see 306 million people that we can potentially reach in the United States. We're going to scroll down, we've got languages. Now this is important regardless of what product or service you're selling, that you're running ads to your native language. We then have audience segments. Now this is where we can choose or begin to choose the kind of people we want to target for our ad, okay? So we've got a whole bunch, we hit browse here, we've got a whole bunch of different audience selection options, right? So we can target people based on who they are, based on their demographics. So their parental status, their education, their home ownership status. We can target people based on their interests and their habits, the home and garden, lifestyle and hobbies, news and politics. And if we go in, we should be able to go and look at these in a little bit more detail as well. Bargain hunters, for example. Okay, how they interact with your business. So these are retargeting based audiences. And also combined audiences if we've created our own custom audiences on the back end of the Google ad account. These two really are for more advanced users once you have actually ran some Google ads, you've got your retargeting set up, and you have your Google Analytics tag code installed on your website so you can retarget. Now, we're gonna steer away from this, and generally I would advise you can test this out, but as a beginner, I would advise you to steer away from this when you're first starting out, and I would recommend you focusing on just keyword-based search ads, which is what we're gonna be doing today. So we're not gonna select any right now. We're gonna ignore dynamic search ads for now, and we're gonna hit next. Now, the final thing we're gonna do is hit more settings, and this is where we can actually set the schedule of our ad. So we can set the start date, and we can also set an end date if we want to as well. So if you only want this ad to run within a certain period. And we also can play around with our ad schedule. So let's say your service is only suitable to business professionals and you only want to target people during work hours. You can target people on Monday to Friday within 9 till 5 p.m. Okay, so you're not going to waste money when people are actually at home and are not in work mode. Generally speaking, for the majority of products, I would recommend you keeping ad schedule set to all day. Cool, that's all we need for now. And now we are at keyword selection. Now the first thing we could do is enter our website URL and allow Google to suggest some keywords for us to use on this ad. Now I don't actually have a product to advertise right now, so we need to go over to Google and actually find something that we are going to advertise with this search ad. So let's advertise for pet clothing, pet toys. Let's do that. Okay, let's quickly find something. Let's just go on any website and let's do Pets Corner. Okay, chew toy. Okay, I think this is one of them toys where you put treats in there and they can try and get them out. Let's just do this. We'll roll with this. So if we go back over to Google and we enter this URL, let's see what keywords Google actually throws up for us. It'll be interesting. Okay, here we go. A lot. That's pretty good, actually. I'm pretty impressed with that. So we've got dog food, dog's toys, puppy toys, dog ball, best treats for puppies, toy puppies, puppy treats, dog treat. Okay, this is actually really, really good, but let's get rid of anything that's irrelevant. So we only want to be like puppy toys or dog toys. So let's get rid of dog food. Let's get rid of, we can keep puppy toys. Dog ball, we can keep that in. Best treats, let's get rid of that. And okay. Okay, let's just get rid of loads of these. Fine. Okay. Now, it doesn't really matter how many keywords you use. What I don't want to do is just spend ages just doing the keyword-based stuff for you. But you can use as many as you want. Just the key here is to make sure they are absolutely relevant. You don't want to be playing around with like, let's just putting dog food in here and so on and so forth, or like dog clothing. We don't want to be doing keywords that are not relevant to the product itself. If you do want to test out those kind of keywords, you're best off creating another ad group within your campaign to have multiple ad groups, remember on the structure on the presentation, and then putting those keywords in there. So separating out your campaign so they can optimize for one relevant thing. Now, another thing to highlight here is, let's say we're doing dog toys, puppy toys, dog ball, dog chew, okay? What Google is going to do is it's actually going to use these keywords as a broad match. And if you see right at the bottom of the screen here, we can see this. So if we just have the word keyword itself, it's going to be a broad match. So Google will actually probably allow other keywords which are similar to dog to chew. But if we have speech marks either side of the keyword, then it'll be a phrase match, okay? So Google will only allow the keyword dog chew as it stands right there, okay? But it can be within a phrase, so it can be within another sentence. Finally, if you want it to be an exact match, so the person has to search that exact two words, okay? So they go over to Google and they put dog chew, then you want to use these square brackets. But I wouldn't really recommend doing square brackets unless it really is kind of set in stone. This are the exact keywords that you want to go for. Generally, I would advise you going for phrase match or actually just keeping it pretty broad when you're first starting out. But just for reference, we could put dog toys there and stick with that. Cool, so these are the keywords we're going to stick with for now. On the right-hand side here, similar to any other advertising platform you may have used, like Facebook, for example, we have some estimate of what kind of results we can expect. So on our £5 per day, we can expect 31 clicks and an average cost per click of 16 pence. Okay, that's pretty good, right? But I wouldn't trust these estimates. They are just estimates based on other people that have advertised similar products. These estimates will get better and better as you advertise on the platform and as Google learns about your products individually. So let's scroll down and we get to create our ads, okay? So what our actual ads look like. Let's just go over to Google, by the way. I want to actually show you dog toys. Let's do that. And you can actually see some of these ads, by the way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create the actual copy, create this ad itself. Okay, these are pretty simple adverts. So we're going to create a responsive ad. So we're going to hit add new one. We're going to scroll down. We're going to put our final URL. Let's just get rid of that. And so this is the destination we are actually driving traffic to. So when someone clicks the ad, this is the website they're going to be brought to. We then have our display path, and this changes this URL here, okay? This is a good opportunity for us to get in some extra keywords. So we could do Pets Corner, dog toys, and chew toy, okay? This could be dog toys / ultimate chew toy, or dog toys / dog chew. / chew, okay? So we've got some keywords, okay? Dog toys, chew. Scroll down, we've got headlines, okay? So the headline is this here. We can choose multiple headlines. We only have 30 characters on each headline. And what a responsive ad is going to do is it's actually going to show a whole bunch of different variables, a whole bunch of different combinations based on the information we put here. So if we put 6 different headlines, it's not going to throw 6 headlines up on one ad. It's just going to rotate around the different headlines that we input until it finds a combination that wins. Okay, so over time, these ads are going to get better and better as they test out these different combinations. So let's say this first headline could be the ultimate dog chew toy. Okay, now we can choose where we want this headline to be. At the moment, it's showing at the end, but if we hit this pin, okay, we can choose the position, right? We can say that we want to show it only in position 1, and that means it's only going to show it right at the start, okay? Now, something like this, the ultimate dog chew toy, would be a good headline 1. On the flip side to that, though, you could just allow it to choose this at random and just have a completely random combination. I personally would say select headline 1 and pin it yourself and allow Google to randomly select headline 2, headline 3, and same again for your description. If you want to play around with different headline 1s, then just add more responsive ads, okay? So just create more ads, and we'll go through that in a second. So headline 2, strengthen, okay, I'm just making this up. I don't actually know this is correct for this company, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we can just go ahead and we can create new headlines. If you want to create more variables, just hit the plus headline button. Next thing we need to do is actually select our description. This is going to be the description underneath the ad itself. So here we're actually going to describe the product. Let's just take some of this from the actual product itself. So if we go to the website and we'll see what copy they've got. Okay, so we've got natural rubber, by the way. So let's just add that onto these headlines as well. That's nice. And what else have we got? Designed for dogs of all ages. Yes, we've got that. Sustainably sourced. So here we have it, and we can add other descriptions as well. So if we want to, we can add other variables, and in the same light, we can also pin our description to the top based on where we want it to display. So here we've got an ad. The ultimate dog tutorial, established since 1974. Natural rubber, okay. Oh, it's actually 1976. In fact, we can probably get rid of that if we've already got it in the actual headline itself. Fine, there's our ad. All we need to do now is hit done. And that's it. Now, final thing I just want to show you quickly is Google has a really nice AI feature to enable them to suggest different headlines and descriptions for our products. For example, if we hit view ideas at the top here, we can see a whole bunch of different headlines that Google has actually suggested for us. So if you get stuck when you're trying to create these ads and write the copy, then just view the ideas. Let's have a look at the description ideas. Cool. I'm just going to import this from your website. Make headlines unique. Okay, so it's got some different headlines there as well. Nice. Let's hit done. Let's hit next. We then get asked if we want to set up any extensions on our ads. So we have site link extensions, call out extensions, or call extensions. Now these can be useful depending on whatever business you are trying to run. And I've got a bit of a diagram to show you what those actually are. So a site link extension is simply giving us the ability to set up additional links or additional URLs that we can drive traffic to when somebody clicks our ad. Now this is useful if you've got a very broad spectrum of products and your ad is actually a broad ad, top of funnel, and you're trying to advertise kind of all the products that you have on your website. For the majority of people just focusing on selling one product or service though, with your ad, I wouldn't recommend you setting up any site links. Phone call extension is adding the phone number to the actual ad, and location extension is adding your location, okay, if you've got a physical store, for example. We're not going to set any of those up today. We're just going to hit next, and we're going to review our campaign in all its glory, okay? So we have the name, we've got our targeting, we've got the keywords, and cool, and that's it. Our first ad is launched, okay? Our first search ad is published. Now, we're going to be taken through to the campaign selection page. And if you're not, then go over to, you've got the three buttons at the top, click all campaigns, and you're going to come through to this page. This is where we can see all the relevant data for our campaign. We can see how many clicks we've got, our impressions, our click-through rate, our average cost per click. Now, if there's any data on this page that you want to see that isn't here, just hit columns, hit modify columns, and here we can select a whole bunch of new data, and we can simply take these, tick it, and it's going to add it to our list, okay? So we can see that data. Now, I mentioned a moment ago I would show you how to create additional ads, okay? So if you wanted to create additional ads within your campaigns, all we need to do is hit campaign, let's go in the ad group, and here we actually have the ads. So that's the keyword. So if we actually go on ads and we go on ads, these are the actual visual ads that we created. If we hit the plus button and we hit responsive search ad, we can create an additional search ad within this ad set, okay? So we can test out more variables. And I'd recommend you doing that when you're first starting out. We want to test out as many different variables as possible. Now on the left-hand side, if we go over to keywords, when these ads are actually running, we can break down each individual keyword and see which are performing better than others. This will allow us to test out other keywords based on the ones that are doing well. And also if we want to get rid of ones which are not performing, we can simply remove them or pause them. Now I also mentioned earlier on that for an ad to be really effective, you want to optimize for the end goal, which the majority of the time is going to be conversion. But to optimize an ad for conversions, we need to set up conversion tracking on Google Ads. And that's what I want to do right now before we end this video. So we're at the top of the screen, if we go over to tools and settings, and under measurement, we go over to conversions. What we can do here is we can set up different conversions on our website. So what we want to do is hit the plus button on conversions. We want to select what kind of conversion we're going to add. So we're going to do a website conversion. This is going to be for the majority of people who've got an e-commerce based website. We can put in our domain. We're going to scan, okay? Now what this is going to do here, probably this website is already going to have a Google Ads tag on its website already, right? Because I'll be surprised if they're not actually they're already tracking conversions. Now, interestingly, it's not coming up with anything. So Pets Corner, if you don't have conversions set up already, then hit me up, okay? We can help you, but I'm sure they do. Now, we get two different options for setting up conversions, okay? We can either set them via page load. So let's say you've got a website where someone's gonna visit your landing page, they're gonna sign up, and then they're gonna be shown a thank you page. What we could do is we could set a purchase conversion on the thank you page URL, okay? So we'd enter the thank you page URL. And what that's gonna do is gonna tell Google that if somebody visits this page, they have actually purchased our product, or we can have it as lead, okay? It could be submitted lead form, okay, and enter the URL. We can also add a whole bunch of other ones, okay? We don't just have to add one or the other, but we need to enter the URL. The next thing we can do is a little bit more complex, is we can add conversions manually using code. This is where we would copy and paste a small piece of code onto our website, which will allow people to track what our potential customers are doing on our website. I'm not going to dive into this right now in this video because we simply do not have time, but maybe we could jump onto that in a future video. If you want me to create that content, drop a comment down below and say Google conversions, and we'll create that content. But that is it for now. That is how you set up your first ever Google search ad. Let's go back over to this camera. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video today. If you've got any questions at all, drop them down below. If you've got any hints or tips for other people who've watched this video, then drop it down below as well. And if you haven't already entered our competition, where 1 in every 100 people will get a completely free coupon to sign up to a Learn Ads Pro course, then enter that competition as well. Now, finally, if you're watching this video and you're thinking, Jordan, do you know what? This all just seems a little bit too complicated for me. I don't have the time to be running ads myself. Then I would like to invite you to work with me personally at our marketing agency, the Affluent Agency, where we can do this for you. We are responsible for generating millions and millions in new revenue for e-commerce companies all over the globe. So if you're an e-commerce company and you don't want to run ads yourself, want us to do it for you, then click the link in the description and you can apply to work with our agency today. Cool, that's it from me. Subscribe to the channel with your notification bell turned on, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers, guys.